Hey, it's Daddy Steve. Please like and subscribe. Okay, I'm doing another ultimate review, but this time of ZHUGE Liange. Sorry for any kind of mispronunciation. I might just call him ZL. ZL. All right, let's go into it. Okay, so again, he does area of effect damage, otherwise known as AOE. Rage cost is 1000. Deals direct damage up to 5 nearby enemy troops. Damage factor 2000. Every additional target reduces the damage dealt to each by 15%. That's huge. That's huge. So even if it was 3, it'd still be pretty good. And obviously, if there's only 3 people out there, then that damage reduction of 15% won't go reach so far. And obviously, for enemies 4 and 5, we're getting towards the ends of damage, but it's still damage. And again, I'm going to go with the scenario that I said for Huan Yu, where I'm imagining a situation where on our alliance, so you can only go to that part of the map on KVK, where you can only send 1 army. And if everybody sent ZHUGE Liange, well, obviously, archers have got a natural advantage over infantry, let alone before we get into this skill, which is going to have 2000 damage, which is the same as Huan Yu. But not only that, but I haven't even talked about the damage reduction yet. We've got the 2000 damage, which can touch 5 people. So if everybody in our team, assuming it's equal numbers on both sides, our side and the enemy, but our side is doing damage of 2000 to at least 1, which spreads out to 5 enemies. My gosh, they're taking a lot of damage. They are taking a lot of damage, and yeah, there's going to be a few Guan Yus over on their side, but I think my man ZL's got an answer for that too. Watch this space. Long story short, they would do very well, and most of these videos you're going to notice I'm very pro AOE, area of effect. Anyway, so troops hit by this skill deal 15% less damage for 3 seconds. Wow. So I'm not picking on Guan Yu, but Guan Yu is my number one, is the ultimate. So I guess he's going to be my comparator for now anyway, maybe for all these videos. So he's doing his 2000, he thinks. It's complicated with Guan Yu, isn't it? Because he's got that silencing skill. I'm going to move on, but I'm going to come back to that in a second. I'm going to come back to it. Basically what I'm saying is if he's actively silencing ZL, he's never going to get that skill off. Whether it's 2000, it could be 50,000 if he's going to get the skill off. The skill only lasts for the 3 seconds. Let's go back to that. Skill lasts for 3 seconds. Guan Yu's skill lasts for 3 seconds too. When did Guan Yu's skill activate? We don't know. If it activates at the same time as ZL, that's 3 seconds covering the entire 3 seconds. And if it was slightly before, if it was kind of 1 second, 2 seconds in, obviously you get some damage, but not all the damage, not the full 2000 damage over 3 seconds. We don't know. We can only control the controllables, and assuming he gets his skill off, he's going to do very well. Anyway, beyond that, burrowing arrows, single type damage, not AoE anymore. Anyway, so this commander's archers, the archer units gain 30% health and deal 5% more damage. That tries to make it more tanky. And I think what it bears in mind, I'm just talking about the kind of practical experiences, a lot of people have got calves. Oh my gosh, and they just can't wait to see an archer, especially an AoE archer. They can't wait to eat him up. So I think he definitely needs the health, just to have a bit of tankiness about him. They never seem to have this healing factor, archers, so they definitely need the health. And they deal 5% more damage. On the other side as well, I'm talking about real world kind of battle experience. So because they have a natural advantage over infantry, they will because of natural advantage over infantry will be very keen to get rid of ZLs when they're seen, basically. Yeah. So just think about what I said about Cavs. So Cavs, will also attack archers because they have a natural advantage over them. Anyway, if trip on the map whenever is inflicted with a control effect, it has a 50% chance to negate the effect and deal direct damage to the troop that inflicted it with a cooldown of 5 seconds. Right. So as soon as that control effect touches, whether it's silence or not, that's why I said this man may well have an answer. So the control effects are silence, disarmed, and heal immune. There's a 50% chance that it doesn't silence. Okay, so yeah, Huan Yu will still be hitting us, but we can also hit him. It's a 50% chance. And if this triggers this kind of immunity, it's a 50-50, it'll continue for the life of the skill because there's a 5-second cooldown. Not bad at all. Okay, so I talked about that and the direct damage factor. Okay, let's move on. If this commander's troop contains only archer units, and surely, please, I don't need to tell you that only to use archer units, it deals 20% more skill damage. With the proviso, direct damage or additional damage does not include ranged direct damage or ranged additional damage. Whew. So that effectively moves up that 2,000, as long as it's only got archer units, which is only ever going to have. My computer brain tells me 400, is that right? 400 more damage. So instead of being 2,000 more damage, and then so 10% is going to be 200. So yeah, 20% is 400. So we're doing effectively guaranteed 2,400 damage with only archers. It's only surely going to have archers in there. The only complication surely would be if you're going to send it for a rally. It's not a rally specialist, so you just wouldn't do it. Surely. Whenever the troop launches a basic attack, the archers in their troop have a 10% chance to gain 50% attack for 3 seconds. Thank you very much. You just take it, won't you? And there's one more AOE passive skill, which means it's not based on a rage threshold. Whenever this skill uses an active skill, if the troop does not already have the Marquis effect, along with the Marquis effects, can that be spelled? Okay, this is the Marquis effect. The Marquis Zhongwu. Okay, it gains the Marquis effect, increases damage dealt by 10% for 10 seconds. Wow. If the troop does not already have the Marquis effect, it gains the Marquis effect, which increases damage dealt by 10% for 10 seconds. So that's obviously going to overlap. Assume that you're not silenced and you haven't, the dispel thing hasn't dispelled with that first active skill, moving it from 2,000 up to 2,100 into for initial 200 damage, basically, in terms of the calculation. So we just take it, wouldn't you? We just always take it. If their troop already has the Marquis effect and contains only archer units, which it only ever is, it will dispel the Marquis effect and deal direct damage up to 3 nearby enemies, damage factor 1,500, and it's not affected by the skill damage buffs. So it won't, instead of doing the 200 damage from the 10%, it's going to do 1,500 damage to 3 enemies. Wow. Wow. So I'm still thinking about that kind of immunity to silence, or the 50% of an effective immunity to silence. I'm not really thinking about the overlapping, everybody else trying to get you with it, which would be interesting. So say when you're immune, so I'm thinking. Okay, upon entering combat, this commander's troop gains the Marquis effects. Fair enough. Increases damage dealt by 10%. That much we already know. For the 15 seconds. That doesn't say skill damage, it just says damage. All damage, I guess. Whenever they deal skill damage, though, with the burning of Xinye, or the Marquis Zhongwu skills, the troops gain 30 rage. Wow. Marquis Zhongwu, Xinye. Wow. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And that's just amazing, amazing. And as before, what you're going to try and do is listen. Depends what your primary is. I'm an infantry primary, so I like to go with Huan Yu. Even now, I'm still impressed by that guy. This guy's going to get picked off and targeted by the Guan Yus and potentially silenced. Then also he's going to get targeted by Cavs en masse just because of that natural advantage. And there's just too many Cavs out there and too many infantry, so he's kind of that left in the middle, but still awesome technically. So yeah, what I chose for him was the Iron Guard. But listen, depending on the balance of your team, you got to think about what you want to do. Of course, Ottoman, perfect, tailor-made for archers. Of course, is what you're going to choose, surely, right? And in terms of the tree that I've got for Zhang Yu, this is what I've got. Admire this, and I've talked about it, I believe, in other videos. So yeah, I'm trying not to optimize the march speed. If I could have gone, yeah, I definitely did. If I could have gone for this, yeah, I probably would, but it would be at the cost of something else much more valuable. Probably the right side of this tree here in the archer side of things, which is just too much sacrifice, way too much sacrifice. And on the way to that, on the way to feral nature, I'll be gaining 0.5% defense, 0.5% attack. What would I be losing? 8% more skill damage. Easy choice. Easy choice. Anyway, so sorry for the long video. Please like and subscribe. That is Steve, and I am out.